Right, so the recording started. Right, okay, so I very much hope that we will soon have a lot of ECOPs in Spain joining the ECOP node. So I will now be sharing some updates and overview of the UN Ocean Decade and the ECOP program in general. So let me just start sharing my screen. Right, okay, just let me know if you can see that.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Right, okay, so just a quick overview of how it all started. So the ECOP program was officially endorsed as one of the network programs at the UN Ocean Decade, with the first endorsement batch in June 2021. But it basically started in May 2019 with the first global planning meeting for the UN Ocean Decade, when some ECOPs that were present at that meeting basically said that there are too few ECOPs, so early career ocean professionals, present at that meeting, and that ECOPs absolutely should be involved more in the planning of the UN Ocean Decade, as well as in different activities, committees, etc. So the IUC UNESCO, the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission, who was charged with preparing for the UN Ocean Decade, they very much supported us. So they made it possible for the informal working group of ECOPs to start working back to back with all the other informal working groups for the preparation of the UN Ocean Decade. So we were invited to some of the planning meetings. We were invited to participate in various regional committees and workshops to prepare for the UN Ocean Decade. We checked the implementation plan, etc. So thanks to this support, then we also applied to be endorsed within the UN Ocean Decade. Basically, our mission is to create those opportunities for ECOPs globally for networking, and to provide through networking and through various connections to provide funding and capacity development opportunities. So we ran the global survey back in 2019, 20, and 2020, and we found out that the main challenge for ECOPs globally was the lack of funding, the lack of job opportunities in certain countries, and the lack of access to affordable funding opportunities and capacity development opportunities. So there was a lot of interest for ECOPs to contribute to the marine environment protection, but sometimes there are just no opportunities in doing so, whether because there are no jobs or there is no funding. So here is what is now happening in the UN Ocean Decade. So there are calls for actions that everyone can apply to. They happen every 6 months. Now the next one will happen in April. It will be already the 5th one. So through these calls, you apply either as a program or contribution or project, and then you either get endorsed or not. So right now, as of March 2023, there are 35 big programs, 214 projects, 69 contributions, and 420 activities. So activities is a small action, something like a workshop, or a conference, a training, etc. And the program is really the biggest action possible. So it's something cross-national, multinational, multi-sectoral program aimed at really changing the science, or changing the approaches to marine science, to get the ocean that we need. So this is information about the next call that will start on the 15th of April. So every call for actions is focused around certain challenges. So there are 10 challenges and 7 outcomes in the official terminology of the UN Ocean Decade. And this call will be focused on marine pollution, with the focus on plastic pollution and nutrient pollution, and then also on ecosystem restoration and management. So if you're interested in getting more information about that, it's all the information is on the UN Ocean Decade official website. So one of the really exciting news that I'm happy to share in this call specifically is that there will be the second International UN Ocean Decade Conference in Barcelona next April, at the beginning of April. So this information has just been announced, I think like last week, and it's still being circulated among networks. So it will be really a huge event. This is it's the second conference, but actually this is the first conference that will happen in person, because the first one, it was in June 2021 when the decade was officially launched, but this happened because of coronavirus. It happened online. So it's great that it will happen in Spain, because it means that a lot of ECOPs will be able to participate, hopefully, and attend events. And I know that the IEC really wants us to have some side events as the ECOP program. So we hope to engage really many ECOPs and enable them to come to Barcelona and to participate in the conference. So now I will switch to the information about our program. So this is our current structure. We have 4 task teams. So ocean literacy, training and mentoring, diversity, equity and inclusivity, and ocean bridges. And then we have several regional and national nodes. So the first nodes that we have were in Asia and Africa, and then we really started growing. So now we have 9 nodes, with more nodes really appearing in every corner of the world, so including Spain. We now have a team working in Italy, and Nigeria, Senegal, and other regions. We also have 5 endorsed projects under our program. So these are the projects that applied under one of the calls for actions to be hosted under our program. So what we have done so far. So because we have had that global survey in the past, we know that the capacity development and funding opportunities are really something very important to ECOPs. So we focus our activities on either of those 2 directions. Last year, we got funding from the Norwegian Agency for Development Cooperation, which enabled us to sponsor 2 rounds of trainings, online trainings, but those were specifically focused on ECOPs in Africa and Caribbean seas. But that was very successful, and we hope to get more funding to also provide those trainings for other regions as well. We started our own webinar series at the end of September, and we already had 5 webinars. So those webinars were about blue economy, how to start an NGO, with real examples from people who started their own NGOs around marine conservation. Then we talked about ArcGIS and the latest developments in ocean governance, based on the results of the conferences that were held in 2022. So we are continuing with this series, and we have a lot of partners who are very interested in developing this webinar series with us. So we will be coming up with more webinars with topics like how do you prepare for a marine expedition, blue carbon, again, different topics around ocean governance, etc. So we have a global database of our members. So currently, as of today, there are 1,656 members, but it's really growing every day. And over the past year, it has grown really significantly. So why do we have this database? Is because we, as a network program, we get a lot of requests from our partners, various connections through the IUC, to recommend someone from a certain country working on a certain topic to join a working group or to speak at a panel at a conference. So that really gives us an opportunity to pass that opportunity along the line and to share it with our community, so that ECOPs get this chance to improve their networking skills, to really raise their voice, to share their research, etc. So we also partnered with the ODGA, Ocean Teacher Global Academy, for trainings, again, so far for Africa, but we want to expand it to other regions as well. So we had 2 trainings with on the platform of the Ocean Teacher Global Academy. We had some technical trainings, like data analysis and working with R statistical software. We are also planning to create a database of funding opportunities and capacity development opportunities, because I know from my experience how difficult it is to find a good training for you, to improve your knowledge, or to how to find a grant to sponsor your research. So I think what we can do really as a network program is to collect all together all those great resources that we all know, and make it accessible, for everyone. So here you can see the link to the Ocean CD Hub. So this is Ocean Capacity Development Hub. That mechanism was developed just recently by the IUC, and it was just launched last month. So the website is oceancd.org. It is currently still under development, but already it has a lot of very cool information about funding and capacity development, and many other like internship, traineeship opportunities globally, and it will be developed further. So I really recommend you checking out that link out. Right, so how do we do our work? So we rely on our coordinators, regional coordinators and national coordinators, to basically collect email addresses and gather ECOPs in their region or in their country, and then share the news with them, share opportunities. Because, as I said, we get a lot of very cool opportunities that are not widely shared otherwise. So the UN Ocean Decade also created a system of national decade committees. So what is that every country is encouraged to create their own national decade committee. So basically, this is a body that is responsible for the implementation of the UN Ocean Decade in their own country. So of course, every country is encouraged to create its own, but right now there are maybe around 30 countries that have their national decade committees, and basically they just started working in 2022, or some of them in late 2022. So Spain also has a national decade committee. So I tried to reach out to the representative of the National Decade Committee, but to attend this meeting today, but they didn't answer. So maybe it's just that the email is not managed or something like that. They will try to find out another email, so to put you in contact with them, because normally the National Decade Committee in many countries, they would like to support ECOPs. They normally invite some ECOPs to participate in their work, to have their input and to really include them in the process of decade implementation in their country. So this is just a list of trainings that I mentioned that got supported by the Norwegian Agency for Development Cooperation. So those were for ECOPs in Africa and Caribbean seeds. And we also had a call that covered participation fees for training or conference participation. All right, so our plans for this year. So as I said, this is further development of our webinar series. This is further expansion geographically. So we want to cover certain gaps in South America, because currently we just have our node in Brazil. We want to cover certain gaps in Asia as well, and the Pacific region, so Pacific seeds, Australia, New Zealand. But also we'd like to have more nodes appearing in Europe, or maybe someone who'd like to take the management task of the whole European region. So then one of the priorities in the coming months for us is to secure financial support to provide to ECOPs who want to go to conferences or trainings, because we get very often requests whether we have funding for that, and we currently don't. So we want to really establish a kind of bank so that we could help people go into conferences when they don't have the opportunity to do so from their own institutions. We also get a lot of requests for funding for small scale projects. So this is also our priority, to secure funding to sponsor those. Many of them are focused around ocean literacy, or some really community raising awareness in their communities, and research as well. So we want to also secure funding to be able to help those people as well. Right. So we also will be working closer with the other endorsed programs. So hopefully you'll know more about what the other endorsed actions are doing, programs and contributions. And we will continue with our internship scheme, which was very successful for the African region and Asian region as well. So now I would like to tell you where you can find us on the internet. So we have our own website, ecopdecades.org. It has been constantly updated. We have a section on opportunities, which we need to update much more regularly. We have our monthly newsletter, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so on any page on our website. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you to do so. This is the Ocean Decade Network. So it was previously called the Global Stakeholder Forum. And it was recently just renamed into the Ocean Decade Network, but it has the same website. So the official website of the UN Ocean Decade is oceandecade.org. And then from there, you can enter to the Ocean Decade Network. So the Ocean Decade Network is basically a forum. It's something between like LinkedIn or Facebook. So you can have your own account there, even with your CV, saying where you are based, what your research is about. And then there is a map. You can find ECOPs and other professionals working in your country or in any country. People also post opportunities there, like even jobs, internships, etc. You can find also various stakeholders there, and there are various groups. So we have our open group for early career ocean professionals. So if you go to groups and then open groups, you'll find early career ocean professionals. We started recently to post there really very regularly with various opportunities. So it's getting quite cool, really. And you're also free to post there anything you like if you're looking for a partner for a project, or if you want to share any opportunity from your institute, you're very welcome to do so. That's really for everyone there to participate. And it's an open group. You don't have to, I think you just click join and that's it. So this is the official, as I said, this is how the official UN Syndicate website looks like. And then from there, you need to go to enter the UN Syndicate network. So the IEC is recently changing and editing that website as well to make it more user-friendly. And it has a lot of already users and page views. So this is the newsletter. Again, it's very useful. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. They have a monthly newsletter. We normally provide our ECOP stories to be included in that newsletter, and it has all the recent news and all the announcements in that newsletter. And this is basically all our social media channels and how you can find us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you have any questions, you're free to use our email at ecop.oceandecade@gmail.com. So thank you so much. My presentation ends here. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thanks for the presentation. If you guys have any questions, just ask her. If not, we can move on to the introductions. Do we want to follow in Spanish or in English? I don't know, any preference? I'm not sure, maybe for the discussion we might be more comfortable talking in Spanish, but I don't know. Okay, I'll start introducing myself. My name is Inés Mas de la Peña. I come from a business background, but I'm currently working at the Institute of Marine Sciences in Barcelona. And I felt there was no infrastructure helping early career ocean professionals from many disciplines to get together. So that's why I wrote to the ECOP, and also because my background is in business and project management, I decided to move on and organizing this, and that's why I'm here. So yeah, also really exciting, especially having the conference now in Barcelona soon, and I'm also part of other Ocean Decade actions, like the Ocean Cities Network. So I'm really active in this, and I'm hoping to move forward with creating ECOP in Spain and see how we can do it together.
Okay, I'll follow. Hi, I'm Maria. I'm a doctor in marine conservation, and right now I'm working as an environmental consultant. I have a new job. I'm very happy with that. Yeah, I met Inés in a different organization. When she told me about this, I was super ready to go because I met ECOP a few months ago. I wrote a post on LinkedIn, and Natalia Fox, I think she works for ECOP, interviewed me for the website, so I was super happy with that. And I need that in marine science or marine conservation, it doesn't matter the field that you work. When you are an ECOP, you need support, because many times you end your degree or your master and you don't know what paths you have. You know what I mean? You don't have a clear path. If you don't want to be a scientist, you might feel a little lost. And I think that we can help a lot of young people with this, with ECOP. And I want to be that support for those ECOP that don't know where to start. Yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Maria.
Hi, I will introduce myself because I'm the person who wrote saying that I need to leave because they closed the institute actually where I am right now. So I am Marta Albo. I'm working in the Spanish Institute of Oceanography in the center of the Balearic Islands in Mallorca. And well, before was also in ICM in Barcelona. But we didn't met, Ines. I think you were not there for that time. And well, my background is in ecology, and now I'm moving more to socio-ecological systems and mainly on fisheries I study. I'm here because I really think that for the transformative changes we need to do in the next decade, it will be important not to be each of the disciplines like scientists on one side and business in another. So I thought that was a good place to interact and open also my mind and trying to contribute to the community. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can go next. Yeah, okay. Hi everyone, I'm Rosie. I'm currently a university student in the Netherlands. However, I grew up in Spain, so that's how I come into here. I'm currently doing security studies, and I hope to go into international sea security, so international maritime law, international tribunal for the sea, that kind of situation really interests me. I'm currently my final year, and I'll be taking a gap year just to figure out a few things, know what I want to do, and then work from there. Thank you.
Exciting. Next one, maybe Cesar or Jose.
Hi everyone. First of all, I want to say thank you for this initiative. I think that it's great. I am Jose. I'm working as a postdoc in the at the University of Barcelona. And more focus on, yes, my background is just ecology, but focused to understand the resilience of the oceans against the climate change. For this reason, I think that this network can increase the interaction between researchers and also institutions to shed light on this opportunity. So thanks, and it's great to be part of this.
Thank you. Paula and Liliana, I don't know if you're...
Hi, yeah, I'm here. Hi, hello, how are you? Well, yeah, thanks to everyone as well. To be honest, I'm just here as a listener. Like, I'm really interested in general in sustainability and ocean conservation. I'm passionate about communication and I work in this field, but I've been working all my life like with ocean conservation for a magazine and then like multiple projects in relation with coral restoration and all this. So yeah, I thought I maybe join this like to see what's up here and what's coming for Spain, because unfortunately like many of the projects that I'm doing, like I really like to speak other languages, but many of the projects that I'm doing with communication are in other parts of the world, like not in Spain. And I've been doing just some communication in around the Mediterranean Ocean with some scuba diver and all this, but yeah, I'm just here to see what's in here and to make my contribution here.
Yeah, I can go next. Sorry for my voice, but I'm sick, so it's a bit weird. I'm quite sick these days. So I'm Liliana from Barcelona. I'm actually a geographer, and now I'm also listening because I I'm a postdoc, but I don't work anymore in ocean management, but I'm moving towards coastal areas. And so, yeah, it's a bit different, but yeah, I guess I can also try to learn and listen and maybe even support this initiative. But yeah. So basically that's it.
And now we're just missing Cesar. I don't know if you're available to talk.
I can talk if you want.
Just a short
Can you
introduction.
hear me? Yeah. Well, I'm Cesar Bordeore. I'm a professor in marine ecology and marine pollution at the University of Alicante. Well, I'm really interested in contacting other people from other parts, not only in Spain, but also mainly in the Mediterranean. But well, I'm already working with different researchers around the world in, for example, fisheries and the economy of fishing, and also the impact of pollution, mainly plastics and other pollutants. Well, I'm really concerned about the youth, how they could begin the career working as marine scientists. Well, I do have now 3 PhD students, and well, I'm open to collaborate with other researchers and students doing research. Well, I'm the coordinator of a marine station in Denia. That's where I am right now. This is in the mountain, but it is really close to the sea. It's just 1 kilometer. We have here boats and a small laboratory, and this is like a field station. It's close to the University of Alicante. Well, that's it.
Thank you for the introductions, and that's a good mix of people. I don't wanna keep this super long. This was just also to get to know everyone, understand the ECOP program more in depth, thanks to Eugenia. And also, so just maybe a discussion of what are, on your opinion, the objectives of having an ECOP in Spain, and what kind of expectations do you have in terms of developing this network? Because I don't know if you had a chance to look at the plan. Obviously, this plan is a draft, but it was, I took inspiration from the other ECOP programs as to what kind of activities they were offering. So, for example, of offering job opportunities, a list or website of resources, communication of events, maybe doing workshops, trainings, connecting with mentors. So a lot of them in line with what Eugenia said, but just to understand if, I don't know if you have any ideas or needs and expectations about ECOP. Or any comments about the plan.
I didn't have an idea, but when looking at, well, last week when receiving the event that will be in 2024 in Barcelona, I think is a good, I mean, it would be nice to have like a goal to do something there all together at least, and also that we can meet and do an side event to perhaps discuss problem solutions from ECOPS on or how ECOPS can in Spain can contribute to the how you say the national ocean community in Spain. I don't know if, because I think in short term, for example, I don't know the others, but in short term, perhaps I cannot put a lot of effort, but for activities that we plan in the next 6 months, 1 year, I really can work on that, but not like for next month, something or something like that. But it depends on the availability of it. But I think we should take advantage that is in Barcelona, as you put already in activities.
No, that's for sure. We have to start organizing this, and that's why it's good that we are starting already a year before to start gathering more networks, starting to doing more activities, and also having a more established group so we can create this side event and collaborate with ECOP Global and other ECOPs and even other institutions and other young researchers associations.
Yeah, I really think that officially launching would be the best way, and then just posting a lot about it on our social media like LinkedIn and that way we can officially grow, like be big and grow.
Mm-hmm.
And that I find has always attracted more people, that if we're well established, more people want to join. And I think with the incentives of Barcelona next year, that really helps.
Eugenia, you want to say something? Or yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment. So for Barcelona, as they just launched this information, so we don't have any like really details yet, but we'll try to push for as many like side events or workshops as possible there. So for example, one of the ideas we already have is to have like a workshop on capacity development, so to discuss all the like trainings and what ECOPs need, etc. So if you have during the next months any specific ideas, suggestions for a workshop, please feel free to to contact me, and we can discuss that. Especially when you are there on this site, it will be much easier to organize any like side event, because I'm not sure whether all of them will be in the what was it, like the conference hall, right, in Barcelona, where is it, or maybe we will need to search for some other space, as it was, I think, in Lisbon, for the UN Ocean Conference. So as soon as I know any more details and deadlines, I will let you know, of course. Because normally I think the application will start well in advance of the application for side events, but yeah, I don't know what the procedure will be. And yes, I think there are really many ECOPs in Spain that are somewhere around, maybe in Twitter or like on LinkedIn. So I think just for the matter of this specific meeting, I think we discussed it within us that we wanted to have it quite small, to discuss it with a kind of core team, core group. But then I'm sure that if we start posting information about the group on Twitter and LinkedIn, there'll be really a lot of ECOPs in Spain who will join it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the idea was to first meet like the first that you have been interested in ECOP, and then decide if we do Twitter or LinkedIn, and then do an official launch open to everyone, Spanish or resident in Spain, interested in joining ECOP. So yeah, and then probably also doing a survey to understand what kind of, like, I wanted to talk with all of you first to understand the needs and expectations, but then following with what Eugenia mentioned, will be mostly mentoring, trainings, some events, but mostly understanding what do you think, or what would you need.
Yeah, and I also want to mention that we have a Zoom license for webinars. So within that webinar series that we launched in September, we did it in a webinar format. So you're also free to use that. So if you want to have a separate webinar on some topic entirely in Spanish for ECOPs in Spain, we'll just provide the link and space for you to do that on any topic you'd like.
Because, for example, if we start planning monthly or every 2 months talks, would you be interested in that, on contacting some researchers or maybe some startups, or I don't know, institutions, giving
Yes.
a specific talk to all of us? I'm not sure if you would be interested in that. So we start moving into and organizing some this type of activities.
I will. More than about specific ocean knowledge, because if we make a webinar about ocean pollution, maybe that's not a field of my interest, but we can make webinars about transversal skills, or things that we can all use. I recommend you to watch one of the ECOP webinar about how to start your own NGO. It was super interesting, and that's useful for everyone that has the idea of starting an NGO. You know what I mean? Not super specific about science or whatever. That's my idea.
Yeah, that's good, really good. I mean, I think maybe we can all propose, if we have any ideas, propose all of these kind of topics. What kind of, maybe, okay, I'm interested in how to create an NGO, how to do my own startup, how to collaborate with, I don't know, high schools in ocean literacy. So maybe if we all start proposing these ideas, I could start finding specific people who can give us a webinar on this, and then start promoting this to the rest of ECOPs. That could be one of the activities. Another one could be, I don't know, finding mentors or connecting ECOPs with mentors, like Eugenia has in Global ECOP, but with a specific Spanish, I don't know, relevant or person in something that you're interested in. Yeah, Eugenia, and then Liliana, sorry.
Yeah, I agree. I think, and thank you very much for the comment on that webinar, how to start an NGO. That was our first one, and we really thought that that was very, very interesting for everyone involved. So I'm really happy to hear that you liked it. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. So our idea for that webinar series is to try to find and cover topics which are normally not talked about. So yeah, you can find webinars on plastic pollution, but maybe really how to start an NGO, especially how to start an NGO in Spain, for example, is not something that you can easily find information about, right? So, or how to find a job, or how to switch to the marine environment field from another field if you want to switch careers. Yeah, or for example, really how to find a job in the marine sector in Spain, and you can find someone who could talk about it, or someone from like consultancies in Spain, and so I think that would be probably very interesting, especially for even the younger generation who are still thinking whether to go into the marine education. What's this pathway? What does this pathway have for them?
Yeah, I wanted to say that also maybe something that could be interesting is like to share, like when you want to apply for a project, to have this like network for partners, because like, for example, this week we were thinking to apply for a project in my supervisor, and we were missing some marine scientists. Yeah, so it was a bit tricky because yeah, I've been doing my postdocs abroad, so now I'm kind of lost with the marine network in Spain. So that would be maybe something interesting, like to know, when you apply, you are looking for a project, and like you look for partners. That's something. Yeah, something like that could be interesting to know more or less what people is doing and where are they working. Yeah, not only research, it was more like marine scientists, but in the business sector. That was what we were missing. Yeah.
Marta, you want to say something?
Yes, sorry, that I'm now in the streets. Yeah, I only wanted to say that I need to leave now, but if you can share the recording or whatever, I will listen later. And about what you were proposing, perhaps if we do a list, each of us in Drive or whatever, that we put the topics that we are interested in, perhaps then if because perhaps I don't know where it's from everybody, but for example, I know business here in Balearic Islands or NGOs, or we can map depending on the topics that we are interested. Perhaps we can map different type of business, NGOs, scientific research institutes, or associations that are related to the ocean and related to the topics that we are interested, and do like a map of organizations, no? Something like that. I don't know, was an idea. And yeah, I'm sorry, but I need to to leave.
Don't worry.
So thank you for organizing that, and very nice to meet all of you.
Thank you, Marta.
Bye.
Bye. No, that's a really good idea about mapping everything, and that relates to what you were saying, Liliana, about making it easier to find other partners. Also, especially what you were saying about business in the ocean, and not only researchers. I could start doing an Excel with all the different mapping all the different institutions, NGOs, startups, and everything related to the ocean, and then open it in the drive so anyone can add. So a list of all these possible companies or institutions, and also a list of interesting webinars that we can propose. If that sounds good.
I wanted to say that now we are with an international group of researchers that we are biologists, but also economists. We are working about the bioeconomic modeling of fisheries, so and how to increase the profits, but maintaining and increasing the biomass of the stocks. And this, with this collaboration, we can really change things. I don't know if you know there is a report from the World Bank from 2017 or 2018. It's called the Sunken Billion, and it quantifies the losses that all the fisheries around the world are losing every year. It's about $80,000 million, something like that, due to overfishing. So it's like science says that the fishing quota should be smaller. Now with this report from the World Bank, the economist says that, and other papers and other people, the economist say that the quota should be smaller and smaller, but the sector and the governments, they do not do anything at all. And in the marine sector, I think it's very common that the science and the experts say something, and governments and part of the society, mainly part of these businesses that are based on the ocean, they do not care at all. For example, we have two international initiatives about this 30% of protection of the ocean for 2030. We published 1 year ago, something like that, a letter in Science with almost 300 researchers around the world, led by Rashid Sumaila from British Columbia University, and another letter also in Science trying to convince the WTO, the World Trade Organization, to change the rules of subsidies for fisheries, and instead of these subsidies, the subsidies now, the structure of the subsidies, what they are doing is just they are depleting all the stocks. So we asked them to, and we convinced the WTO to change the rules. The problem is that we need almost 200 countries to support this change in regulations, and I think the countries don't want to change it. So I think there is a lot of things about marine conservation, the ocean decade, for example, but the hard thing, the real thing, I think is business as usual. So I think that we should make a big effort, and not only on social media, but also with specific connections with governments and with UN, for example, because we should do really big things to change this big impact on the ocean.
Sorry, I was writing down things that you were saying. Yeah, thanks for that. Sorry.
Sorry, just a last comment.
Yeah.
I work, part of my field of research is system dynamics. I don't know if you know this kind of modeling. And one of the problems that we face now is that we detect a problem, an environmental problem, climate change, or whatever, or plastic pollution, or mercury pollution, or whatever. And the problem is that we identify the problem, but when we propose, the society or the governments propose the solutions, these solutions have not the scale of the problems. So it's like you need, for example, you have a deposit of water with plenty of thousands of holes, and you just put something in 2 holes, and you are happy because you are facing the problem, and that's not the truth, because you have other thousands of holes just leaking the water from the tank. So I think we should be realistic and quantify the problem, and also quantify the needed solutions.
Thank you, Cesar. I don't want to keep this longer than 1 hour because it's long. And I will write down everything we have mentioned. I'll start working and making more specific steps for the plan, so it's easier to follow, and then everyone can comment. Feel free to add anything. And I'm not sure about each of you how you want to get involved, to what extent do you want to get involved, but I'll be sending emails and things in case you want to add and comment. I also wanted to ask if you want to maybe do a Slack channel or WhatsApp or just email, also understanding, or maybe creating also in the future a LinkedIn or a Twitter to share all the information. So maybe for now it's just email, or should we create a Slack channel for just ECOP in Spain? I don't know if someone has.
I prefer email, but
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah, we can start with email, and then if we grow a lot, we can do Slack. But I think for the moment,
Sounds good. Okay. Okay, then. That's good. Apologize, maybe this first meeting was a bit more chaotic, but also I'm starting with this, but the plan is already built, so I'll just work on that, and then I'll get back to you soon again, so we can start proposing, mapping all the different institutions, startups, NGOs, and then the list of webinars that we can start connecting with other people. And then we all know that Barcelona is going to happen in a year, so we can start having some ideas in the back of our head. Anything anyone wants to add?
Thank you for organizing.
No, of course. I'm really excited about this, so let's see if more people join. I know a lot of people messaged me that they couldn't join today, so I know there's a bunch more out there. Okay, then you'll hear from me soon, and yeah, we'll talk in a few days. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Happy to meet everyone.